So, I mean, I guess expanding more on robotics, what are some of the robots you've worked on over the years that you're particularly proud of? Or
For me, it actually first robot I'd say I really worked on, like outside of a mechatronics class or something like that, was the snake robots actually with Howie.
cool.
Howie chose it. And in the biorobotics lab, and right when I first got to Carnegie Mellon before I was a professor, I was a postdoc with Howie biorobotics back in sort of the perhaps earlier days at the biorobotics lab when the focus was almost specifically on the snake robots. So when I was there, the guys who actually started Hebi, so this was before Hebi had started, and the very first series elastic actuated snake robot, the Sea Snake, was starting to be built. So before that, all of the snake robots had all been basically just hobby servos, really, really fancy hobby.
Like Dynamixels, effectively.
Yeah, they built their own. In fact, they started with, way back in the day, even before my time, they had started with Dynamixels, and they actually were hobby servos that they put together. Some of the early snake robots were referred to, I think, as like the Super Servo SS1. And anyway, so this whole lineage, they actually then, right before my time, had built sort of a very, very well engineered, they sort of built it from scratch. They made their own servos, very, very high end. They made all their own components, but it was still position controlled. So the way that they actually interacted, controlled the snake robot, they could do things like path shapes down its body, and they did all this work on gates, but they could never sense forces. You could a little bit, but there was never an explicit way to sense forces. So the hypothesis at the time was if we wanted to get the snake robots to actually act more like biological snakes in the sense that they could control positions and forces moving down their body, I was sort of at the very forefront of the hardware sort of catching up with the theory.